comments, yay. And they're all in response to my video on debates and elections, so here's a playlist. No? Okay. Lucas writes, do you think it might be a good idea to allow some voters to chat with presidents on a live stream on the very first day of the election? That way it'd avoid having something scripted or like you compare it to a chess game, knowing exactly what they're saying. Or do you think live streaming with the president would be a threat to national security? Threat to national security? No, I don't think that would be much of a worry. Whether it could be good? Yes, I think it could, but there have been debates similar to that with the undecided voters asking questions. So I'm not sure how different that would be in terms of how the candidates were actually debating. They could still have things that they wanted to try to work in. That said, it could be a great way of using technology and having more people interact with the candidates, which I think would be really cool. Lucas also asked if I think the media would manipulate a debate in order to get spectators to vote for someone. So many people say that, and I think in a way, yes, the media does change people's thoughts on the elections. But I don't think they consciously manipulate it. It's very difficult to completely hide your opinions on these things. Just your tone of voice and your wording will show your opinions a bit. I don't think the media is going to purposely change the stories. I do think they will kind of hint at the opinions of the creators, which I'm honestly kind of okay with. Caressa wrote a response on Tumblr, which I thought was very interesting, link in the basement, and the main part of that I'd like to respond to is about the Electoral College. She said it was very difficult to pass laws for this entire country, and that the Electoral College at least gives minorities a bit more of a say in the elections. Which is one of the benefits of the Electoral College, but I again feel that could also happen with something kind of like the alternative vote. Not everybody would have to have the president as their first choice, but most people would have to have the president on their list, so they would at least approve of the president. She then went on to say that she doesn't think it's very logical to have a national government, since the states are so varied. But that just makes me think of the Articles of Confederation back before the Constitution. They pretty much made a central government irrelevant, and instead it was all by state. Which in many ways makes sense, but there were a lot of problems with it. For example, I travel between states pretty often, and I don't want to take a quick day trip into New York City and have to check whether they use the same currency as me. I don't want to have to check their laws before entering their state to make sure that they're not going to change too much. And I also don't want there to be states where people don't have their basic rights. I think that should be a larger scale thing. That said, I do think a bit more power should be given to these states, but not all of it. She also talked about voting age and talked about how many young people would be affected by people like their teachers. And that's true, but I think it would only be people who really care a lot about the election and have their own opinions who go to vote. Currently, a lot of 18-year-olds don't vote. They can, but they don't, and I think with 16-year-olds that would be the case even more. And people are always going to be affected by the people around them. The people around them and their experiences shape who they are, in a way. They shape their opinions. And then there was some discussion in the comments about whether America is a horrible, horrible place. More specifically about whether America and other countries can get anything done at all. And America does get stuff done, but the two parties do argue a lot more than they should. Which is why I don't really like parties, and if we do have political parties, I think we should have more of them so that parties aren't arguing, they can compromise a bit more. Seamus, I think that is how his name is pronounced, said that it is mostly about red versus blue, and I think that is currently really true, but I would like to have more shades of purple. I think those comments gave the majority of what people were talking about on those two videos. So thank you to the people whose comments I responded to, and everybody who has commented. You're cool. And as always, I'd love to hear what you people think, if you want. Also, just a reminder, I'm doing a live stream today, Sunday, December 9th at 4 p.m. EST, and if you would like to join in on that and possibly talk, then once it starts, there is going to be a link here, and you can do that. And it will be fun. So, bye.